Good afternoon, Jen Paul here, bringing you another wellness moment. And the title of this is How to Cheat Well. Yeah, I said it. How to cheat well, which I think is kind of fun. And cheat means basically, for me, like a fun food or a fun snack or a fun thing you want to have that maybe doesn't fit into your overall diet and fitness plans. But I do feel like it's important to have some of our favorites on occasion and not deny ourselves all of our guilty pleasures that we have, so to speak. And over the years, I've just tried to figure out what's the best way to manage that. And I've had some epic fails and overdone it and made myself sick by cheating too much or not cheating enough and then binging, and whether it's late night snacking or just overdoing it. And how do you kind of manage that? So my husband and I, Mark, years ago came up with this, and the reason why I'm bringing this to you today is I was talking with one of my friends and clients last night, and we kind of talked about, how to basically get your wellness food in order, and how do you look at that, and how do you plan out your days and weeks, and how do you plan out your cheats, and how do you cheat, and how do you still have some of your guilty pleasures. And so we always kind of had this game that my husband and I would play. Is it a 10? Is it a 10? Is it a 10? How do you rank it on a scale of 1 to 10? And so depending on like the food or the establishment or how we wanted to do it, we would rank it on the scale of 1 to 10. And it was just this fun little game that we played. So we took that same process of ways we would use that scale of 1 to 10 and kind of putting a number on things to make sure that we were truly living in that 10 zone. Because life is really easy not living in the 10 zone if you're not intentional and purposeful with what you want to do. So I want to share with you one of my fit secrets, or one of my fit things that I use to stay fit but still have some guilty pleasures in my life, in which they rotate. Currently, right now, I am on a cookie dough kick. I like to make my own organic, non-GMO, awesome chocolate chip cookie dough. And it's just one of my favorite things. I do not like cookies cooked. I don't like my chocolate chip cookie cooked. I like it raw. And so the first thing I do is I always zap it first. So I zap all my materials to make sure they're free of contaminants, especially the eggs and the butter that could have the worst. But still, eating raw flour isn't necessarily a good thing either. And so I just make sure everything is pure and uncontaminated. And that takes me about 10 to 15 minutes before I even start my cookie dough. And then I make my cookie dough. And then what I do is I take my guilty pleasure. I do one small guilty pleasure a day. I take a bite-sized amount, probably the size of like a small chocolate chip cookie, of cookie dough. So I make this big batch, I put it in the freezer, and then every day after my lunch, I treat myself with a chunk of frozen cookie dough. Now, I prefer it frozen or cold because it's, one, really tasty. It's very satisfying, almost like an ice cream or like a gelato kind of feel. And then I love the crunch of the chocolate chips, and so I get this cool, creamy texture with the chocolate chips, and it is just absolutely a 10 for me. Chocolate chip cookie dough is always on my top 10 list, and so that's the kick I'm on now. I just left having a chocolate cake. Costco chocolate cake was the one before that. And I just kind of rotate through different cheats that I love. They usually almost always involve chocolate. So this one is chocolate chip cookie dough. And so what I do is, like I said, I take that small bite after every lunch. And then on Sundays, I might even have a little bit more of a cheat. But I like to do my cheats at lunchtime, and I like to pick a 10. And what I mean by the difference of a 10 or a not 10, if someone brought me a store-bought, prepackaged chocolate chip cookie, and I'll just pick on my childhood favorite that we kind of grew up on was Chips Ahoy. Always enjoyed Chips Ahoy and a glass of milk at Grandma's house. It was just what she did. She wasn't a big baker, so we had that. So to me, if I had to rate a Chips Ahoy on a scale of 1 to 10, that'd be a 2, maybe a 3. But my homemade chocolate chip cookie dough, I give a 10. And so if someone brought me, or if I had Chips Ahoy, I would never eat that on a day-to-day basis. I wouldn't even waste my time because it's not even close to being a 10. But to have just 1 or 2 bites every day, I think is really important. Or 1 or 2 bites a week, however you need to work it. I just don't think you can do it every day in large quantities and too much. Now, the rest of my diet's super clean, and I work out really hard. I drink a ton of water. I take a bunch of supplements, which I can go into later. But I just think that having a small cheat is really good for me personally, because then I won't do it later in the day. I don't snack. I won't sneak. I don't do any of those things that I used to do because I know I can always have a piece of my very favorite thing every day. I just do it in small amounts, but I made sure I've earned it. I've earned it by making sure I have a meal plan for my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I have a good night's sleep. I make sure I drink at least half of my body weight in ounces of water, usually more. And I make sure I work out. I work out for maybe 1 to 2 hours every day and get a really good sweat on. And so by me doing my 10 after lunch, it gives me from noon until when I go to bed at 10 or 11 to burn off that little bit of sugar that I consumed and then a little bit of chocolate rather than doing it after dinner. So I find my cheats are better in the day. I find that I can only do 1 to 2 bites and then I put it away. And I have an abundance mentality that I can have it the next day and the next day and this day. So there's no need for me to binge today, being a Thursday, because I can have it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's still there. I can make more. I don't need to have bunches of bunches. I do 1 to 2 bites. I satisfy that sweet craving. I enjoy my 10 chocolate chip cookie dough, and I move on for the rest of the day, and I don't think anything else about it. Another trick with your little bonus content for today, this is the bonus content, is I brush my teeth about 5 minutes after I eat my cookie dough. I like to keep that flavor in my mouth for about 5 minutes and kind of linger. Then I go brush my teeth. Here's why. You will notice if you brush your teeth with some kind of minty toothpaste and or do some mouthwash, you will be way, way, way less likely to eat more food because your mouth feels so clean. And then I just drink water up until my dinner time. And then I eat my dinner, and then I don't snack. I just drink water, and at the end of the night, I will take my magnesium calm and clear and call it a day. That's just a little tip. There's your bonus tip. Enjoy your 10 only and decide when you're going to do it and work it into your schedule, and just know to have the abundance mentality so you can enjoy all your favorite 10s from here on out. And if you'd like to, share with me what your 10 is right now. I would love to see that below in the comments. What is your 10, your favorite little cheat food that you're going to indulge yourself with, and use some of these principles I've taught you today to keep yourself well and fit. I'm Jen Paul of Jen Paul Fit. If you'd like to find me on more awesome videos or anything, just go over to my website, jenpaulfit.com, or be a subscriber here on my YouTube page, and we will get fit and well and be beautiful together, inside and out. You guys have a great day, and I've enjoyed sharing with you.